on computer. Okay. Okay, so I said this job is all about data. This is all we do. Now, data itself is nothing but, like I said, something like this. Okay, it can come in like Excel, just some are even longer than this. Some data can be in the database like this in SQL Server. Some can even be like on the web, like say, let me search for New York right now. Say I search for New York on Google, and they're going to give me something like this. I can extract all of this data and start to like look into what I'm looking for in this data. So we have data everywhere, but company also have data, okay? And this data is telling them something all the time. So company want to be able to like look at this data and make informed decision. And for example, if I say, okay, can you tell me the total sales from this data from here, or give me the total number that we have here? It's going to be difficult for you to quickly know the trends, the pattern of what this data is saying, because it's so long, how many rows or columns, and you have to start doing some kind of gymnastic, trying to like get meaning into this data. So that is where our job comes in, using reporting tools such as Tableau to summarize data for users to understand. Do we get it?
Yes.
Hello? So
Yes.
what is your role as a data analyst or as a Tableau developer or BI developer? Your role is to help organizations understand data quickly, understand what the data is telling them, so they can make decisions based off of that data. Now, every human being have blood flowing in their veins, okay? Data is the blood that keep company going, okay? And if you be following the this trend recently in the news or in the science world, you can see that data is so valuable that some countries are actually hacking other countries and stealing their data. They want to know what they are doing. They want to know some information about those countries or about company. So companies don't play with their data the same way you don't play with your blood. Will you be okay somebody coming at night, passing a pipeline, or like what's it called now, sucking your blood, overnight without telling you? You won't be happy because you need your blood to stay alive. And when somebody steals your blood without telling you, is a crime. So the same way, companies don't joke with their data, because their data hold a whole lot of information about that company. Every data represents that company. So your role is very, very key, very, very important, and you need to be able to like understand data, the behavior of data, the same way every human being behaves differently, data behave differently. For example, this data that I have here might have different behavior from the data that I have in my database here. Don't worry, we're going to get to different kind of data, okay? But let me show this. So this data here might have different behavior from this. But you need to be able to like understand this behavior and help your users understand this data, okay? Any question on data? And like I said, data is very, very big, but I'm just trying to give you some summary to help you understand what data is, okay? Now, in back in school, they used to tell us that data are just, what do they call it? Volume of, data that have no information, that has no meaning as at yet. But you can process data to give you information. Okay, a process data can give you information. For example, this data right here now might not really give anybody any meaning because it's just there, you know. But if you process that data to become something like let me show something. Okay, this one to be like something like we have here, like in bar graph or chart, it becomes meaningful. The users can actually read and understand what that data is saying. Now, having said that, there are different kind of data. I want you to follow here, okay? Before we dive into Tableau itself. At the data source level, here, there are different kind of data, okay? Now, in your interview, they might be asking you, what kind of data have you worked with, okay? You might be thinking, because at the Tableau level here, there are, let me connect to one of the data sources so you can understand what I'm trying to share. Let me connect to the data source I sent out. Where did I have it? Okay, let me connect to this data source here. For now, don't worry about this. We'll come back to this. Now, if you look at here, there are different kind of data at the reporting level. So this is at the reporting level, which is Tableau, okay? And if you look at here, you have what we call strings, you have what we call whole number, decimal places, you have time and dates. That is the type of data at the reporting level for Tableau. But in your interview, they might be asking you what kind of data have you worked with. They want to try to get your understanding of different data. Now, data itself, you can work with, like, say, sales data, okay? For example, this kind of data here have to do with sales, customers, sales volume, and so on. There are also what we call survey data, okay? Survey data, these are where most of us have taken surveys where you say, how do you like this product? Does this product meet your need? You say yes, no. Will you recommend this product? Yes, no. These are kind of survey data, okay? You also have, like, for example, work performance data, for example, where you collect employee information to try to analyze who is working more, who is performing well, who is not performing well. So all of these are just kind of data that different companies work with. But overall, data is data, okay? Have this at the back of your mind. So as we work with different scenarios, don't try to, like, remember what kind of data that you work with, okay? Just tell them, I work with this kind of data, sales data, survey data, I work with performance data. Then at the Tableau level, you have with what you call strings and so on, okay? That's why I say data is big. Don't get confused as we go on, because I'm going to label all of this out one after the other, okay? So for us, any questions so far? Please stop me and ask any question if you have any question. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Ejiro, apart from sales data, have you worked with any data that other than what we work with in the class? Any?
Sales data is the same as finance data. I've also worked with survey data. I've worked with healthcare, like HR data, and diversity, that's HR also.
Okay, so now I'm going to write that out here. Sales data, you said finance data, okay.
Survey.
Okay.
Hello, class.
Hi.
Hello, class.
Hello, Daramola.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
I was struggling with my laptop. It refused to push out audio, but everything looks good. I might have to restart it. So Ejiro gave me an insight. Why don't you connect with your phone? I wasn't even thinking about it. So thank you, Ejiro. So by the way, I'm sorry, class. Let me just make a brief introduction of myself, although it's late. Okay. Could I go ahead, boss? Go ahead. Okay. All right. So my name is Daramola. I'm a Linux system administrator, and I love Tableau. I once had a brief introduction to Tableau, maybe like 4 years ago, but I never really had the chance to lay my hands on it until Ejiro, my very great friend of more than how many years now? 2006. So they told me that Daramola, this is what I do. I said, really? So, and since then I've been interested, and I want to thank you for this big opportunity to both you, Lucky and Ejiro, for giving back to us and making this a free class, if I may say that. And I will put on our best to make sure we get the best out of this and we make you guys proud. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So sales data, finance data, we say survey, healthcare data. Okay, but I hope I spread this right. Healthcare data. Then Daniel says entertainment data. Like I know he did a project. He's doing a project with NBC. Entertainment data. Good. Okay. So all of these are just kind of samples of data. There might be more out there. Okay. I myself, I work with virtually all of this data. I work with insurance data. Okay, insurance data. Okay.
There's HR data.
Yeah, HR data. Absolutely. Where they track employee demographic, sales rates, and so on. So you all have this at the back of your mind. We're going to try and work with a lot of this data. Okay, so if they ask you in your interview, what kind of data have you worked with? They're just trying to see your knowledge in working with different kind of data, because again, remember, data behaves like human beings. Okay. Every human being have different behavior. Some are very irritative, some are very nice, some are kind, some are mean, some are wicked. So same way data behave. You can work with some data that will frustrate your life. You're like, man, I wish I didn't have this data. But you can work with some data that, you will love your work and everybody will enjoy it. So start getting used to this type of data, okay? Now, at the report level.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes.
Okay, like you said in your interview, they asked what kind of data do you work with? So how do you know specifically the type of data they're talking about? Because there are other types, they will say geographical data.
Yeah, geographical. Now, you just mentioned something. Yes, geographical data, like census data. Remember, we did a project about COVID. That is, that's why I say, just get used to those data that we're going to be working with in the class and let them know easily, okay? But data is data. The logic in solving whatever data issue is the same. You understand? Okay. But they're just trying to see if you have experience with different kind of data and if you can take on their problem and bring in that experience. That's what they're looking for.
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay, so everything we do in class, just assume that you're working with it. So just take it as you are doing a project on the job. So if we do finance data, when you're interviewed, you say you have worked with finance data. So everything we do, just assume you're doing it on the job.
Okay.
And again, it's not as if you're lying, because you work with it. So by law, what you learn in class counts as your experience. You are allowed to reference what you've done in class as your experience. So it's not as if you're trying to make it up. You've worked with it. Again, the logic is the same. The aggregation is the same. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right. Now, this is just at the data source level, different kind of data. But they might also ask you, what are the different type of data Tableau have? Now, they are not talking about at the data source level, they are talking about different kind of data here. Okay, now if we go to the Excel sheet again, let me start from here. So let me hide this, move this away. Now, if you come to the worksheet title here, you can, Excel might not really tell you what kind of data is this, but if you are used to data, you can easily tell. This one right here, these are like qualitative data, descriptive data. And if you look at salary here, these are quantitative. You can quantify them. You can add them up. You can sum them up. You can aggregate, minus, subtract. Okay, so this should give you an idea. But Tableau make it easy for you. So remember, I connected to this data source right now. Tableau have an inbuilt AI that identify these columns here, all of these columns here, and tell you by default what kind of data this is. Now, if you look at everybody, just look at my mouse here. On this left side here, you can see this little ABC here. Okay, well, this is telling you that this is what dimension, all of this blue one here, all of these field that has blue. Why am I having two data sources? I think, hold on, let me fix something here.
Yeah, I was even going to say it here.
Maybe I double click, let me remove this. Okay. Okay, so if you look on top here, all of the ones that have the blue color in front of them.
Please, Mr. Loki.
Yes.
Is there a way the screen can be expanded? Your screen.
Is it too tiny?
Yeah, I can't.
Okay, let me fix the resolution.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me make it, let's see now. Is that better? Is this better?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
I read the
Now-
words now.
Now, anytime you connect your Tableau to the data source, by default, I've tried to remove this. Okay, by default, Tableau will read your data and tell you which one is dimension, which one is measure. So in economics, we call it quantitative and qualitative. Qualitative describe the quantity, okay, like Lagos, Abuja. These are data, but you cannot quantify them. They can only qualify. Now, but if you talk of $2,000, $200, $500, these are something that you can quantify, aggregate, okay, or add together. But in Tableau, we don't call it qualitative or quantitative. It's called dimension and measures. Now, the one on top here, you can even tell by the color coding, these blue ones here on top, those are your dimensions. Why the one in green are your measures. So let me dimensions and measures. So what is the difference between this and this? Again, just think of quantifying and qualifying, okay? Dimension qualifies your measures. Just have that in mind. It qualifies your measures. Your measures are aggregate data. Your dimension are descriptive data. For example, if I want to know the total salary like we have here right now, if I bring my salary to my test, it tells me I have 196 million. That's it. And because it's just telling me the total salary. But this measure here does not give me any other information about the salary. If I want to know the information about this salary, I need my dimensions to tell me more information about this salary. For example, maybe you sell something online, maybe on Amazon. You check how much you sold for today. Amazon told you sold $1,000. That is it. But where did you sell that $1,000? So if you need to know where you sell that $1,000, you need your what? Please, I need answers. You need your what in this instance?
Dimensions.
Dimensions. Your dimensions will tell you where you make those sales. So in this instance, we have salary, but if I want to know which job are we paying this salary to, I need to bring my job to the view. In this case, let's just put it in the rows for now. Don't worry yet. I'm trying to make you understand data before we get into these columns and other stuff. So if I bring this into my rows now, you can see that this tells me more. Now, unlike if I remove this right now, it's just going to give me the total sum of salary. But if I need to know who am I paying this salary to, I need my title in the view. And if I add all of this up, it's still going to give me the total of what we have. For example, if I go to analysis and go to total, you can see it's not telling me this is my grand total. Do we understand that? Ask question,
Yes.
okay?
Yes, sir.
So what type of data is dimensions?
Descriptive data?
Yes.
Exactly. Okay, in your interview, if they ask you what is the difference between dimensions and measure, how we answer that?
I would say the dimension describes the measures.
Okay, the measures are just aggregates. Do you know what the meaning of aggregate?
Yes, the addition of all
Exactly. You
data
can
points.
add, you can subtract, you can multiply, you can take the maximum, the minimum, and so on. Okay, so the difference between dimension and measure is that measures are aggregates, while dimensions are just descriptive. They describe the measure. Okay, we get that?
Yeah.
Now, under dimension as well, under dimension, we have the type of dimension data. Let me put it that way for now, okay? Okay. Now, if you look at this little ABC here, if I click on there right now, you can see it's telling me different type of data that we have within Tableau. And now this is not just unique to Tableau. Any kind of programming out there, these are the type of data that you have. You have whole number, decimal place, date and time, string, spatial, and Boolean. Now, don't get it twisted. They are very simple. Whole number is a whole number. That's what it is. Okay, whole number are aggregate number that are whole number. For example, if I look at this data right here, this 70,000 is a whole number. It does not have no decimal place. It's a whole number. But if I put like point this here, this become what?
Decimal.
Decimal. Okay. Now, if you go back here, this data here is defaulting to string. String is the same thing as what you call qualifying data. It's just like ABC. You can't aggregate them. They just describe. Example of what we have here is like data scientist, machine learning. You know, these are string. They are data, but they are string. This column here is a string. This one here is a string. This one here is a string. They are made up of alphabets. Okay, like New York, Las Vegas, Nigeria, Africa, Europe. These are discrete. No, let me not use discrete. These are string data. You will get the difference.
Yep.
Any question? For the newbies, ask question. Because some of the truth is, some of those interviewers, they don't really know Tableau. They will go online and copy some questions and just start throwing at you. And they'll just throw some of these simple questions at you. And if you goof, you will you find yourself to blame. But ask question now, okay? This kind of data here is dimensional because they are non-aggregate data. But under dimensional, we have different kind of data. We have the string. Date and time is also a dimension. Whole number and decimal are measures. Okay, if I go in here right now, you can see that this one is defaulting to a whole number. That's because it's a measure. This ratio here, if I click on here right now, is defaulting to whole number. That's because it's a measure. But this one up here, if you click on there, you can see it's defaulting to string. That's because it's a dimension. Okay. Now, spatial data, these are more like geographical data. We will get into that later, but let's leave that for now. That one is a little bit. You might not even use this spatial data in all of my projects. I've only used this data once. It has to do with geographical data, more like with census data. Now, Boolean is when you say yes or no. They are data, but they are yes or no data. True or false, 1 or 0. So it does not have more than those two. It's either true or false. Some people will use it as yes or no. Some data we have it as true or false. So even though they are dimension, but they are Boolean kind of data. So let's make a note here. We said whole number are what?
Dimension.
Whole numbers are what?
Measures.
Measures. Okay. Why? Because they are aggregate data.
Okay, we aggregated.
Yeah. So decimal is what?
Measure too.
Measures. The difference is that decimal have like points, you know, they're like floating, like 70,000.2 or 1.5 or 8.0. They always have like 0.0 or point something at the back of it. That's what makes the decimal. Okay, just think of what it is. It's decimal. We all know what decimal number is, okay? That's what it is. Now, date and time is what?
Dimension.
Hmm? No, I want everybody, please talk.
Dimension.
Dimension.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Time span.
So let's put it under dates and time.
Date and time span.
Then we have dates, because there are some dates that doesn't have time. We have some dates that have time, but some date doesn't have time. It's just the same thing. Date without time, date with time. So what would that be?
Dimension.
Dimension.
Dimensions.
Absolutely. Then we have string and spatial data and Boolean. Where would that be?
Dimension.
Dimensions.
Dimension. Absolutely. I hope I spell this one right. Then we have the spatial.
Is N.
Boolean.
Don't worry, we all know what it means. You know, and then we have the string. A lot of the time, this is the one you're going to be having because most data comes in string. Okay, so but do we not have idea of kind of data at different level? You know, I'm stressing this because of our interview, because again, there are a lot of those people that interview, they don't know this. They will just go online and look for questions and just throw at you because they're expecting you to be the expert to come in and help them out. So knowing this little stuff will just make you shine. You know, I've been at an interview where they were asking me this kind of question. I was like a little bit embarrassed. I was hoping for something more bigger, but they just threw this at me. I was just laughing, you know. But I've been at an interview where I was asked to do a simple chart because I wasn't prepared. I didn't remember because I didn't remember. I turned off my internet. I don't even want this job. I just turned off my internet, you know. But get used to this kind of stuff. So let's review this one more time. Data source at the data level. What kind of data do we have? At the data source level. Sales data, finance data, survey, healthcare, entertainment, and so on. But at the reporting level, which is Tableau now, we have different kind of data. We have dimension, and we have measure. So, and under dimension, we have different type of dimension data. We have dates and time, we have dates, we have Boolean, spatial, and string. And we have, under measure, we have decimal and whole number, okay? But don't get confused as you do different kind of scenario, you will understand all of this, okay? Any questions so far? Okay, now, sometimes Tableau can get a little bit tricky. Not because Tableau is confused, but because of the way your data is structured, okay? I'll give this data is actually a very good example. If you look here right now, you can see that work year is coming at 2020, 2021, and 2022. And if you look at here, it's coming up as a measure. Now, is this a measure? For the newbies, I want you to think, because remember, you are problem solving. Is this data here, is it a measure?
No, sir.
No.
So what is this data?
Dimension.
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 What kind of dimension?
Date.
Date.
Dates. Now, but because of the way this data was formatted or structured, Tableau is taking it to be an aggregate. You can see it's here. It's supposed to be up here. So if I bring this here right now, Tableau is going to sum it up. If I bring it up here, you see Tableau is adding up all of those dates here because it's coming up as a number. So here you need to be, have some understand how data behave. So sometimes the behavior here is Tableau is taking it as a number, an aggregate, a number that can be aggregated, but it's not right. So here, what do you need to do before you start building your report?
Move it to.
You need
way
to fix it.
normal.
Absolutely. So you can either just drag this up here and leave it. Now, Tableau know that this is a string. Now this is coming up as a string here, but if you look in front here, it have this little hash, this measure sign, but it's blue. What is going on? Tableau is not taking this data as an attribute. Even though you can use it, no issue. I mean, you can use it in any calculation. If I bring this in right here, right now, you can see just giving me the normal stuff. So whenever you see this sign here, which is supposed to be for measure, but you see it up here, but in blue, just know that Tableau has taken that data as an attribute. We will get to those stuff later. Again, it does not affect you. You can still go ahead and use it. But for me, I'll just come up here and just fix it. I'll go to the front here and just make this a date. Now, Tableau has fixed it. You can see now it has calendar in front of it. Now, any date field in your data, Tableau would put this calendar sign in front of it. So now, if I bring this up here right now, or let me leave it here, you can see now that I'm still having the same thing, but Tableau can give me more information for the dates. We'll get into that later, okay? Date field, you can expand it to the lowest, like day, month, quarters, year, and so on. But for now, let's keep it simple and just understand how to quickly fix your data type. Again, let me go back one more step. If you have any kind of data that Tableau misread the data type due to the formatting, for example, in this case, this is a date field, but because of the way it's formatted, Tableau is misreading it. So all you have to do is just drag it up here. You can see it's not showing you dimension and measures. Just leave it. And you can still use it this way, but you can just go ahead and format it to don't make it date and time if you want. And that just fixes that data. Any questions so far? I know it's a lot, but we just have to understand this little settings environment so we don't, when we get into the real biggie, this does not become an issue. Any question? Ask question. Any question? Susan, any question? Okay, let's go around and just only for the newbies, what are the type of data that you know? I'm going to call name starting from Bola.
Yeah, okay. Like the examples you gave, sales data, survey data, and you said these are at the data source level. We have finance, we have the health, we have the entertainment, insurance, geographic, performance, HR, and so on.
Okay, and at the reporting level,
So at the reporting level, we have the dimension and the measures.
and what is the difference between dimension and measure?
So the dimension, the dimensions are the ones on the upper part, the blue parts. You gave an example that is like the when you are doing like quantifying the quantity and the.
They describe. Just use it simply. They describe your.
Yes, they describe your data.
Exactly.
No, they describe
So you're right.
the
They describe your
dimension.
data. Yes.
Yes.
Good. Good. And
So and the measure. And the
okay.
measure is like, the measure is just like the example you gave, like it's the, when you talk about the amount, the total, the aggregate, that's the measure. But if you want to do like you're looking for the exact thing, then that is the dimensions.
Okay,
so
good.
they are descriptive. The dimensions are descriptive.
Good.
And the
Absolutely.
measures are aggregate.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was it. That was it. Nadia, what is a Boolean data? If I say this data is a Boolean, what kind of data is that?
It's a true or false or yes or no.
Absolutely. Yeah. True or false, yes or no. Good. Yeah, so that's what it is. When you understand this, your job is 25% solved. Okay. All right. So now let's move on to, I know we spent 1 hour. This is just an intro. Just realize we're going to get our hand a lot dirty. Okay. Now, I want to introduce you to the Tableau environment. Okay. As a matter of fact, let me just leave this and open up a new instance of Tableau. Now, why that is opening? A lot of companies keep their data in different places. Okay, and this is where a lot of people have some headache. Some companies keep their data in. Even me, I still baffle why some companies still keep data in Excel. Some companies, they have a lot of Excel files in shared drive, in the cloud, everywhere, scattered everywhere. Some companies keep their data in the database like this. Okay, in short, the most common place where you're going to be pulling your data is in the database. Okay, in the database. In few instances, you might be getting data in like from CSV, Excel, PDF, but majority of the time it's going to be from database. Okay. Now, there are different kind of database out there. Now, you are not required to know all of them, but the company might want you to be able to like have some knowledge or experience with this database. Okay. Now, database is a whole subject on its own. Okay. So don't worry, but we will practice some SQL, basic SQL of way of pulling data from database. Okay. But for training purposes and for you to have some knowledge, there are different kind of database. All right. The most commonly used database is Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, which is this one that I'm using. Okay, I'm going to give an assignment this week where I'll have everybody install SQL Server on their laptop, and then I will give you some data to load into those data. You're going to do it yourself. I will give you some videos to follow. The reason why I would do it that way is that so that you can just get used to some of these technical stuff, how you to like go about doing stuff. Because on your job, you're going to be doing a whole lot of installation. Let's say you just started working. Your first week is going to be installation, installing this file, installing this server, installing this access, installing that. So get used to this, all right? So the most commonly used database is Microsoft SQL Server, okay? Then we also have Oracle SQL Server. Now, there are other databases out there. There are some that are cloud-based. Those cloud-based SQL Server are like Snowflakes. We have Amazon
Web
Amazon
services.
Redshift. Okay. Which one again? Which one again? A lot of
Postgres,
them. Huh?
Postgres.
Okay, Postgres, yes. PostgreSQL.
What of
Okay.
Azure? Is it Azure they call it also?
Azure is like it's like a workbench. Yeah, it's feeding off of SQL Server.
Microsoft SQL Server.
Azure.
Yeah. So these are the most commonly used database. And like I said, some people still keep their data in Excel, CSV,
Files.
which like some use flat files.
Sheets,
Huh?
Google Sheets.
Google Sheet, yeah.
Salesforce.
Yeah, Salesforce is an app, but let's put Salesforce there. It's not really like a database, you know. It's an
Snowflake.
app. Eh?
Snowflakes.
Yeah, Snowflake is there already.
Okay.
Yeah. Daniel had one recently, and they frustrated his life with Smash it because it was like on the cloud, you know. So all of these are just different kind of database, you know. But if they ask you in your interview what kind of database have you worked with, just tell them Oracle SQL Server, which you're going to install and work with. They are
Oracle.
all Oracle. They are just the same similar interface, you know. But your job is to put data from there into your Tableau and build. You are not a SQL developer or Snowflake developer or those people. There are people that are majored in those areas, okay? But the little you know, the better. At least know how to connect to those databases and pull in your data, okay? So we're going to get to that. So if they ask you what kind of database have you worked with, just tell them a lot of database and just start mentioning these SQL Server, Oracle, Snowflake. They'll say, okay, we know, you know. They just want somebody to that have like a vast experience in pulling data. And sometimes you might be asked to pull data from Oracle, Microsoft and Salesforce, and they want you to join it together at the report level and build a report. No problem. That's where the ETL tools come in. ETL to like Tableau Prep, which we're going to get into as well. Okay, but for now, you have this at the back of your mind. Different kind of database. Database is nothing but like warehouse. You know, warehouse where you keep stuff. So database warehouse data. Okay. This is where company keep their data for security purposes or for safety. And because data is getting so large, so big, you cannot keep them in like Excel. You know, Excel have I'll just put Excel again. Well, you all know that. Now Excel have some limitation. I think the maximum rule is 1,048,000 or thereabout. Okay, you cannot connect more than that, you know, in Excel. So if you have data more than let's say 2 million, you're going to lose some data because Tableau maximum rule is this. But CSV is like Excel, but it doesn't have limitation. CSV means comma separated. value, something like that. You know, CSV. They are like this one that we're working on right here. This here, this is a CSV, but even though it's very similar to Excel, but they are just different kind of layouts to accommodate more data. Okay, so we're going to work with different kind of files anyway. All right. Any question on this? Any question? Okay.
No question.
All right. So Tableau itself, this is, if you open up your Tableau, at first you're going to open up this way. Okay. Now, don't mind all of this here. If you start working with Tableau, you're going to show some of the work that you work on here. But normally, for the first time for you guys, this is going to be blank for you. Okay. Now, I'm using the real Tableau Enterprise, like the one you're going to be using on the job. So, but for those of you that downloaded the Tableau Public, you might not have all of this data connection here. You might have just few, okay? But it's the same thing. The Tableau Public is for learning and training, but the shortcoming of that is that you cannot connect to multiple data sources. So it limits the data source that you can connect to. Now, if you start working, then you're going to have something like this, okay? And on the left-hand side here is where you connect to your data, okay? Now, something very important that you must know, if you are connecting to any kind of data, you use the data type connection that is appropriate. For example, if I want to connect to this file here, I think this file here is CSV. If I want to connect to this and I want to click on Microsoft Excel, if I go to the location, that file is in my download. You can see I'm not seeing anything. That's because Tableau is looking for the Excel here because I'm clicking on the Excel connection. So if you don't know the type of data that you are working with, just look at the extension. For example, if I come here right now, this is the data that we're going to be working with right now. If I hover over it, you can see it's telling me that it's comma separated value file, which is CSV. So I need to connect with the right connection here. Okay. If I click on test file and CSV is the same. So Tableau call it test files, but it's actually CSV. So you can see now that I'm able to see the CSV file here. The same thing happens if I click on, maybe I want to connect to my SQL server here to pull in data. I need to go to Microsoft SQL Server, click on that. Then the driver for that to connect will open for you. Then you can log in with your company assigned credential, log in, and then connect to the table that you want to work with. And if you're working with any kind of data and it's not here, you can go to more here, where Tableau will give you option to pull in your like your Harper file. Or if you're connected to like more kind of data sources, if you click on this more here, Tableau will give you all the kind of data source that it can connect to. So you can see we have Amazon, all kinds of databases, data source. Okay, if you're working with Snowflake, which is more likely because a lot of companies use this cloud-based, this is where you need to come to and click on Snowflake, log in from here. If you're working with MySQL, which is Oracle, this is the here. So all kinds of connection is here. So if you're working with any kind of data or maybe you don't know what kind of data are you going to be working with, just make sure, ask your project manager or ask your admin, what kind of database are you guys using? Okay, it doesn't hurt to ask. Any question? No. Okay. Now, for this our first class, we're going to be working with CSV file. So when I said to connect to CSV, which of these GUI here do we need to click?
Text file.
Text
Text
file.
file, because Tableau call it text file, Microsoft call it CSV, they are the same, okay? So click on here and navigate to where you have your file. To some people, you might have to like log in, okay? It's gonna pop up, just enter your credentials and connect, click on it and click open. Now, by default, if you have only one table in this file, so you can see here, we only have one tab in this file that we connected to. So Tableau will automatically just bring it in for you here. Okay, but if you have like maybe 2 tabs, let me call this something like school, okay, and I have another tab and I call this maybe just something else. If I go back to my Tableau right now, Tableau is smart enough. Let me refresh this connection. Oh, no, sorry. Let me reconnect, remove, let me remove. Let me reconnect to that file again and click open. Oh, Tableau says that those tables are empty. Okay, but if you have more than one tab in it, it's going to pop up here, and you can just select which of the tab that you want to work with. Actually, let me give a proper example. Let me add another data source. Let me click on Excel and go to another data source that I have. And where's my Tableau files here? Let me click on sample superstore, for example. So now Tableau's issue, because in that file, I have like 2 tabs in that file. So you can see that Tableau is now showing me all of the tabs in that file. Now, this is the same thing when you connect to your database. So once you log on to the database, Tableau will show you all of the tables in that database here. So what you have to do is click and drag the table that you want to work with. Say, for example, let me remove this. Say here, I want to work with my other table. I can drag this and just drop up here. Tableau will run through that data and load the metadata for me here. Okay, and if you are working with multiple tables, like you're doing some joining, here is where you would do that. Okay, we're going to get into join later on. Okay, any question on connecting to your data? Any question? We're going to come back to this later on when we start working with the database. There are different ways of bringing in data, like using custom SQL or using some kind of union to bring in your data, but we get there. But for now, let's stay with this. So if you connect to your data here, there's something very important that you need to know here. And also know this for your interview. If you look on my top right here, you will see connection. You have live and you have extract. Just by looking at this, for the newbies, what do you think these 2 buttons here mean? Just look at the name. What the name says is what it is. Okay, we're gonna give it a shot. Daramola, can you give it a shot? What these 2 buttons here, what do they do? Oh, we can't hear you. Okay, let me call on Medina. These two buttons here. What do you think?
Sorry, I was talking. I was
Yeah.
muted. Sorry, I was muted.
The live.
Okay, go. Okay, hold on, Daramola. Medina, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. The live connection is the real-time source or real-time. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
When something is live, it's got to do with an existing real-time source of something, where the extract is like honestly, sorry.
You get it. Yeah.
The extract is like an maybe a data that is just put aside for some particular things and not like the real
Absolutely.
time.
Yeah. You're almost there. Yeah. So, Daramola, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I was going to say that live data is you are working with a raw data that is real, like you said, real time. That you can probably not, if you change any changes you make may affect the integrity of the data.
Absolutely. That's what it is. Now, by default, Tableau will connect to your data live. So which means any changes you make in the database, like what we have here now, if I come here and make any change to this data, it will reflect that live on my reports. Okay, but extract, if I click on extract, what Tableau does is it extracts some that data into its repository, so it's not working off of your live data. So any changes that you make in the data will not automatically reflect in the data or on your report until you refreshes your data. You get it? Too different? Extract, we extract the data in its that's what we call Tableau. It's like an Tableau, what's it called now? Repository. Okay. So it creates that data and just keep it there. It's separated from your database. But live, you are working off of the raw database. So any changes you make affect the reports. But extract, it does not affect until you refresh your data. That's just what it is. Now, in the real life, it's not advisable you work with live connection. That's my own recommendation. Don't do it unless you are instructed to do it. Why? Because this is so slow. For example, if you create any calculation on your report, Tableau will have to loop that calculation off of your database and return the result to you. So this is like a report killer. It is not, unless when the data is so small. Okay, but if you are working with large data or big data, this is not advisable. Just do extract. Okay. Then extract, if you do extract, remember that you have to do a refresh of your data for you to like bring in any changes in that data into your report. Let's say you build a report today and your sales was $200, and tomorrow you made the sales. Now your sales is $300, but you are connected to your data with extract. If you don't refresh your data tomorrow, your report will still be showing $200. That's because you've not refreshed your data. Now, when you refresh your data, Tableau will go back to the database and pull in any changes from the data and reflect that on your report. Okay, there are some instances where live data is recommended. For example, if you're working with rows of data that are like 50 million rows or 100 million rows of data, creating an extract will be too much for Tableau to handle. You know, Tableau will need a whole lot of space to store those data. So in that instance, you might have to work live, but the report will not be as efficient as it could be. For example, if someone logging into your data, it will take time for it to like load You understand? And in such environment, they know, so they won't pressure you to make your report faster. Okay. Any question on this live connection and extract? Any question? Do we understand the difference between live and extract, and when likely to use either of these?
I have a question, Lucky. So
Yeah.
when you are working with live data, since they're raw data, right?
Mhm.
And you make changes, you will not be able to go back again.
No.
Would you be able to?
No, okay. Let's say right now, let me do some example. Let me remove this and bring in this table here. So now I'm connected to this data live, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if let's say I build a report here, and let me just do job title for now,
Mm-hmm.
and I bring in my sales. Let me make it like a test. So this AI here
Mm-hmm.
is how much here? Is 2 points, yeah, 2,034,000. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go back to this data right now, and let's measure this. Okay, AI scientist. Let me look for the AI scientist here, for example. And let me just manipulate one of these one here, this 55,000. Let me just make it like 10,000. Okay.
Okay.
And let me save this. Okay. So now I might be doing something. Maybe you are working with this report right now on the server, and you see that this total aggregate for this AI scientist is this 2,034,000. And somebody else might open up this report at the same time. And if we just do like a refresh here, let me just refresh this right here. You can see now it has changed.
Yeah.
Now, I just did that because a lot of time I might not even need to refresh this. Somebody else might just open up this report. Tableau will just load the data for that person, and this person is seeing this amount, but you are seeing 2 million plus. So the two of you are working off of two different aggregates, making two different analyses. But if I do like an extract, for example.
So Moyle accidentally hit up IBI, right?
She did what?
So if I go back here now and do an extract, let me extract this data. And let me save this.
That went like this, and then he opened his eyes and he said it was gone.
Okay. So
He said it was completely gone.
now, so now I have now I'm connecting this to with an extract. Okay. So let me go back to that AI here and change this to like let me change this back to what it was before, 55,000, and save it. So if I come back here right now, and even when I refresh this data, you see it doesn't change. That's because I'm not connected to this data anymore. I have created some samples or copy of this data in Tableau repository. So Tableau is not feeding off of this data directly anymore. Okay.
Gotcha.
So for me to bring in these updates that I just make into my report now, I will need to like go back to the data source here and do like refresh all extract. Let me come back to somewhere here. if I click on here where I say refresh all, where is the refresh extract? Okay, hold on. Okay, I have to come to up here and click on refresh all extracts. So if I refresh my extract right now, you can, because Tableau is connected to this data, it's asking me to refresh that data source. I'll click refresh. So you see now it brought back that updated data. Okay. So the difference is that if you are working with live data, any changes you make will just reflect on the dashboard based on the loading time of the report. And if you are making decision, live connection is not really good because the data might be changing from time to time. You might run your report right now and you have like $1 million. Someone else will run the report 2 seconds later and it's having like 800,000.
Gotcha.
So the two of you are giving 2 different reports and everybody's looking like, what is wrong here? Why 1,800,000?
Right.
Okay, so that is the reason why it's advisable for you to use extracts. And then if you publish your report on the server, which I'm going to demonstrate, you cannot create what we call schedule refresh to say, okay, Tableau only refresh this data every morning. So before everybody gets to work in the morning, Tableau will refresh the data, pull in any data changes. So everybody is looking at the same number at the same time and not different data, at the same time.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question?
I'm sorry, you mentioned something about scheduling. Is it a kind of script that you put in place to make the schedule work?
Yes, on Tableau server, you can schedule your data to refresh at a certain time that you can predefine.
Okay.
Yeah, and Tableau does the work for you.
So you don't have to write any script. It's already defined.
No.
Okay.
It's very click. And that is one of the things that make the job very interesting. You might spend a month building a report, and once that report is released into production and people have started using it, apart from you just checking the report to make sure it's running fine, you don't have to really do anything again. I've stayed almost 8 months on my job, not doing anything. I would just go to office, drink coffee, play pool, watch Champions League, and come back home.
Wow, that's cool.
So sometimes you can get busy developing a report, but once that report is done, a lot of your time you just to monitor the report and do some changes, whatever your company wanted to change. Okay, fix this, fix that, and it just easy. Okay.
Thank you.
Any other question? Okay. Now, once you connect to your Tableau data source, you connect your Tableau to your data source and you define how you want to connect either live or extracts, then you are ready to go to your report level, okay? Now, I'm going to come back to this stuff later here, okay? This edit and refresh. These are just some kind of custom stuff that you do before publishing your data, or something you do to like limit your data, okay? We're gonna get here later. But for now, let's assume everything looks good. We are connected to our report. Then we are ready to start building our report, okay? But we are not going to jump into our reporting so fast as of yet. I want us to spend time to understand the interface for Tableau, okay? The most important one we have dealt with, which is this data type here. I'm sure we are okay by that. Again, if you have not really understand this, don't worry. Once you start working with it, you will get hands on it. Another important aspect that can make your report very easy is this show me here. So it always here. This show me here. If you don't know how to visualize your data and you're wondering what kind of chart can you do with your data, this show me here will give you a very easy hint, okay? For example, bar chart here is telling you for you to create a bar chart, you need one or more dimension, one or more measures, and so on. The stack bar chart and so on, these are things that you can easily use to, like, for example, if I want to say, okay, how do I best showcase my salary with the job title? Okay, I can bring in my job title here and bring in my salary here. So it's showing me like a bar chart. I'm like, okay, let me play around to see how can I visualize this, to add some kind of fancy to my report. You can just come in here. By default, Tableau based on what you have on your view, Tableau will show you some of the recommended chart. Now, also, you must know that Tableau by default give you the industry recommended chart. Okay, by the industry recommended chart, bar chart, stack bar chart, the tree map, pie charts, highlighting tables and text table. These are the recommendation that the industry really use. Now, there are a whole lot of fancy kind of dashboard out there, like the Sankey chart, lollipop chart, butterfly chart. They are very beautiful, nice to show your skills, but they are not really ideal for reporting. They can easily lead to like confusion analysis, where users are asking questions, or it confuses the user. Now, as you build your reports, your utmost priority is to satisfy the users of the report, not you. Okay, you might say, oh, I like pie chart better, I want to use pie chart, and the user says, no, we don't want pie chart, we want tree map. Just give them what they want, because you are not the one using the report. You are just the developer. You are there to help them with the report for them to make decision. Okay, customer satisfaction is the ultimate goal. And please correct me if I'm wrong. In Scrum, the ultimate goal is to what? Customer satisfaction. What satisfies them? What pleases them? If your customers is not satisfied with your reports, you've not added any value. Okay, so try and stay with this industry recommended charts, but it doesn't hurt to like get skillful and showcase your skills. Just to like butterfly chart, lollipop, or Sankey chart. Sankey chart is very nice, but again, in the real world, I wouldn't advise you use Sankey chart. Okay, let me show you what I mean by, if you go here and put in Sankey charts. This is what I mean by Sankey chart. Okay, you can create something like this for the users, and they're like, okay, they see the flow of data from one end to the other, but it doesn't really, it's not ideal to analyze data. Okay, so as a newbie, as you start, stay with the industry recommended chart, and this is the industry recommended. In all of my interview, I tell them I can create any kind of chart, but again, I try as much as possible to stay within the industry recommended chart, which are what? Bar charts, the stack bar, line chart is very good, especially when you're doing like time series analysis, like time and dates, and try to see trends. Use line chart or the field, the area chart, and so on. Okay. So here you can play around with this to say, okay, can I show my chart this way and this way? Just play around here. Now, another way, when it comes to formatting your data, this is where all of the formatting takes place. Okay, your data here is, if you want to like refresh your extract at the report level, or you want to add a new data source. Let's say you are working with this data right now, and you want to bring in another data source. Just come to your data, click on new data, and bring in the data, okay? The worksheet here is where, again, you might not really do this, but there are some kind of stuff that you might need here, like the worksheet action, which I don't really do, but we will get into this. This is just to do some kind of action formatting for your worksheets. For your dashboarding, these are some kind of formatting that you do at your dashboard level. Okay, now having said that, let me come down here so we can understand the difference between worksheet and dashboard. You can see here, it says sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. Okay, let me actually close this. Let me close this. Okay, now this little plus sign here is where I can open a new worksheet. Worksheet is where you do your work, you design your reports bit by bit, little by little. And this little icon here is your dashboard. Your dashboard is where you bring in all of your worksheet together to interact or to format it and present it to your user. Take it this way. Your worksheet is like your workshop where you do your design, do your sewing, or do your carpentry, whatever. Your dashboard is your showroom where you showcase your finished work. Okay, so say I want to build a report right now. Let's say I have this report and I open another worksheet by clicking this worksheet here, and I did another report here. Let's say I did this like bar chart. Okay, now if I want to bring these two worksheets together here, you can see they are just individual. Okay, for me to bring them into one place and make it into a report, I need to go to my dashboard and bring them into my dashboarding. So here you can see the side by side, passing your filters and do a whole lot of custom. Now, your dashboard is what you release to your users. I've seen some people, AKA Daniel, they were not him, but he did a project where they were publishing worksheets. It's not ideal, okay? Even though you can do it, but don't do it. Your worksheet is for you to do your work, bring all your work to your dashboard, and give your users this dashboard, okay? The dashboard is where you can really format your report, make it look nice, and so on for them to use, okay? So again, worksheet is where you do your work, okay? And your dashboard is a collection of all of your worksheets. For example, you can see that I have two worksheets here, but this one dashboard collected these two worksheets for me, okay? Where you put them together and make them into a report. Do we get the difference? So if you're formatting like your worksheets here, if you want to do like action filters, again, don't worry about that. We'll get into that. I wouldn't recommend you do that at your worksheet level. Do any of the action formatting at your dashboard level, okay? That's why I don't want to really go into this worksheet function here. So let's just stay with the dashboard because dashboard is more intuitive, it's more ideal. Any question? Okay. If you are asked in an interview, what is the difference between worksheet and dashboard? Let me call name Bola.
Yeah, you said the worksheet is where you do your job, and the dashboard is where you showcase the work that is done.
Yeah,
so if
exactly.
you are doing a reporting, you report through your dashboard, not your worksheet. So you do your work on the worksheet.
you do your work on the worksheet piece by piece, and then you bring them together at the dashboard. So the dashboard is a collection of worksheets. That's the best way I describe it. Okay. Susan, what's the difference between worksheet and dashboard?
The worksheet is basically your rough draft where you put all your ideas and everything, and then the dashboard is to showcase.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. That's what it is. You know, that's what it is. You know, and all of this here is where you save. This is also this icon here with this data is the same thing. If I want to bring in another data, if I click on that, it brings me to another data. And this one here is like a pause. I wouldn't worry about that for now. Okay. And this icon here is the same thing with this little icon here. So if I click on this right now, it gives me a new worksheet. Okay, this icon here and this one here is the same thing. If you want to open a new worksheet, you can either come here or you come here. It's the same thing. Then this one right here is to like duplicate. Okay, let's say I'm working on this dashboard right now, and I want to duplicate this this worksheet. I can click here and it's going to duplicate it for me. Okay, that's just what that is. Now this little icon here is to clear. Let's say I'm working and like, I don't like what I'm doing. Let me clear this and start all over again. So instead of dragging this off one by one, you can just click on this one and it clears your worksheet for you. Okay. And then this one here is just it's like your resolution, how you want your view to be. Standard, we just make it just standard, but fit width, we fit everything into the width here, from here to here. If I do fit height, it's going to fit everything from here to here. Fit view, we just make sure everything fit into the view. That's just what this is. Okay. And again, as you learn, don't be afraid. Put your hand, play with it. Okay, make the mistake. All right. The first thing you want to do is to dabble your hand into different stuff here and make the mistake. That should be your first priority. Try to do something and make the mistake, but learn from it and do the next one. Okay. So do we have any question on this interface of Tableau so far? Because there's still more, which is this analytic. I won't get into this today. We can get into this when we get into like forecasting and do some kind of statistics analysis. Okay, so let's leave this analytic for now. Let's stay here. Any question? Ask. First day is a lot. Okay, it's a lot, but ask question. Then here, this page, I don't really use this, but yes, an example that we can do for this. This is like a play station where you play your data like video and it plays for you automatically. This filter shelf here is where it's very, very important for you to know. Let's say I have this view here and I want to bring in a filter to like drill down my view. I want to bring in maybe like my job title here. I say, for this company size by this, I only want to see only for AI scientists. If I click apply right now, so which means I'm only seeing the aggregate by company size only for AI. So this allows you to like drill down and passing filter into your data. We're going to be using this a lot, this filter shelf. Anything you bring in as filter is going to be in this shelf here. And then for your marks card here, very important also, this is where you do some formatting, color, size, like labeling. These are good for you to know for, like like I said, your dashboarding represents you. So the way you want to format your dashboard represent how you want people to see you. Okay, I always say it's like a woman who wants to go to a party. She would take time to like dress up properly, wear some nice clothes, look good because she wants to present herself, the way she wants to be approached or be seen. The same way your dashboarding. Your dashboard is unique to you. You have to come up with your own way of designing your dashboard or making your dashboard look. And here is where you do most of the formatting, labeling, and so on, detailing your tooltip and so on. Okay, so we're going to, as we walk through our various scenarios, we're going to be working with a lot with this. So pay attention to this formatting here and some of this formatting up here. Okay. Okay, we have 10 more minutes for tonight. Let's answer any question. And Ejiro and Dada, I'll give you guys the opportunity to answer some of those questions. Any questions so far from what you've learned today? Ask any question. We have 10 minutes. Any question? Okay, if no question, Ejiro and Dada, please feel free to call on anybody randomly and ask questions. Yomi, you hear, you're very quiet. Yomi?
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
But it's not related to what we've done today.
Okay.
I just want to know, is there any professional exams that is required to be certified for Tableau or stuff like that?
Nice question.
You would recommend for this class?
Nice question. Tableau have a lot of professional exams that you can take for Tableau to be certified, associates, desktop, blah, 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 blah. But I will tell you the truth. Nobody cares about your certification. Your recruiter might ask you, oh, do you have any certification? Yes, but on the job, do it, show us. That's what they care. Okay?
So what would you recommend?
It depends on you. If you just want to do it, go ahead and do it. It doesn't hurt, okay? But your certification is not what is going to get you the job.
Okay.
I have about 5 people working right now. I don't know if you did the certification before you started working. Anybody? Dada, Jiro, Daniel? Anybody? I didn't do it. I don't have this certification. I don't care.
No, I didn't do any certification, but of course, look, this class is service, your certification. What you learn here, what you take out from here is going to take you everywhere. So I need to make you to prove yourself. So you don't need any certification whatsoever. Yeah. But if you want to, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to, go ahead and do it, but don't rely on certification. It's the same thing I tell people. Don't rely on your certificate via BSc, master's, or PhD to have a good job. In America, nobody cares about your master's or PhD in most professions, like in the IT. Can you do it? That's all they care. Prove it. You understand? And if you don't prove it, they kick you out. Just like that.
I'm pretty fast.
Exactly. But in nursing or healthcare, they have a different specification for that. But in IT, it's do it. Can you do it? That's all they care. Just your certificate or certification is just secondary. Your primary purpose is to demonstrate that you can do the job, and that's what they pay you for.
The first job I did, my boss then, he doesn't have any certificate but high school. So you are not required to have any certificate to do this job. What is required of you is knowledge. Just show and prove that you can do it. And that's just what is required.
Thank you.
Any other question? Victor, I know you're not a guru in SQL Server, so you're going to show some skills. So get ready.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. If in the absence of no other question, I want to show something here. I want you guys to get into the habit of learning. Don't depend on this class solely to learn everything. There's a whole lot of ways you can do out there, a whole lot of stuff that you can learn. So your starting point will be on this link here. Let me put this on our chat. Okay, discover, explore this here. You can see a whole lot of charts, a lot of trending kind of people do some kind of sample work and just put out there to showcase their skills. Very soon, you're going to be having your own dashboard in this public server here, where you can showcase your skills to the different recruiters. So explore this, okay? I'm sure by now we all have created accounts with Tableau Public. Most importantly, your first assignment for today, before our tomorrow class here, is this place here. These are short videos, okay? I want everyone to watch all of these videos here. So if you click on that link I put in the chat here, go to resources here and watch these videos and make a note. What do you get? I mean, what is going on? What do you understand, okay, about data? Write a note, because you can actually use all of this for your knowledge when it comes to interview or sharing your knowledge. You can. So I want everybody for today, before tomorrow class, spend time here, watch all of these videos, getting started, connecting to data, map, and so on. These are very short videos, but very, very direct. And then we have a lot of sample data here in this second tab here, sample data. Get into the habit
Sorry, where did you, sorry, I have a question. Where did you put the link again?
It's in our chat here. If you come to the chat on the Zoom, or I can send this to everybody in the email. Let me open up the email.
Okay.
WhatsApp group.
You can do WhatsApp.
No. It's better I just send an email, because on WhatsApp group, okay, somebody can copy it and put on the WhatsApp group. I'm not on my phone here. Okay.
Did you do the email though?
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Okay.
I'll just call these videos. Okay. So I send that out. Okay. Then get into the habit of getting some data and just create something for yourself. Create something for yourself. Do a whole lot of dashboards, okay, and put out there. Okay, practice. Then another good resources is YouTube. Okay, I did my first 2 projects without knowing anything about Tableau with the help of YouTube. Lucky do this. Okay, I'll go into my cubicle, go on YouTube and watch it and do it. So you have a whole lot of resources in YouTube. Okay, so for example, you can watch. I'm going to give out a video to watch. You know, once we get into creating report and we've created our first report altogether. You know, so get into the habit of looking for resources and just try to do something yourself. Understand some data. Don't wait until we come to class before you want to learn. Get into the hungriness of trying to, understand this quickly so you can move on. Okay, a whole lot of resources here is available for you. All right. Then I'm going to show something tomorrow on Udemy. Some videos that we can watch, some free videos that we can watch from A to Z that you can quickly use to like build up yourself. Okay. So for now, before tomorrow, everybody, especially for the newbies, okay, not the old bees, you find, you know, the newbies, please watch all of this so you can get your hands on to understand some of those simple stuff that we are talking about. Okay. Any question? Thirty seconds left. Any question? Okay, in the absence of
excuse me, sorry. This there are some things in front of this thing to watch. Is this actually 5 hours or something?
Which one? This one?
I can see like 2 point, yeah.
It's just 2
is that
minutes,
5
17
hours?
seconds.
2 minutes,
2
5
seconds.
minutes,
Okay, so
5
5.
seconds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're short videos.
They are just short videos, just to get you started. As you can see, these are just the basic intro. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then you have a lot of free data here. But as we go on, you'll be more comfortable downloading data and creating a whole lot of reports for yourself. Okay. Okay, everyone. Thanks for the first day. I know it's a lot of talking, but by tomorrow we'll get into the biggie itself. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you, Gigi, for bringing me on here.
Thank you.
Please, Lucky, can I have 5 minutes with you, please?
Okay. Okay, give me 1 minute, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Peter, I'm Peter. Hello?
You know, the last time when we spoke, you said I should send you my resume.
Yes.
That you were going to post it on your work.
Yeah. I forwarded to yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if you were able to take a look at it.
No, I did. I just fixed like 1 or 2 things there in the job environment, and I sent it to my what's it called? My manager. So because of the fiscal year, they were they were kind of busy trying to do the fiscal year stuff. But as I think this morning he was saying that the guys in my group that will be calling for the interview, that to start getting ready to like call And so I'm hoping you will be in this set. One of the person she used to be in my class. Her name is Dion. She was the first one I submitted. I think they called her last week. She didn't pick, and my manager was asking me if she was still available. I said yes, and I tried to reach her. She didn't answer my call, so I don't know much about her. So maybe they must have passed her resume, but they will definitely get to you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Is it possible you send me the one you tweaked?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you.
It should be on my. I'll is that on my work laptop or this one, but I'll send it to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
And also apply. Keep applying. Yeah, daily.
I'm applying. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.